All right, my name is Nicholas Ramsfer, and I am 16 years old, and I am an early graduating senior of Schenectady High.
Where are you from?
Schenectady, New York.
Who do you live with at home?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
Are you the oldest, the youngest? Little?
I'm the oldest sibling, yes.
How old is your little sibling?
My other sibling is 15.
He goes here?
Yes.
What grade's he in?
He's a 9th grade freshman.
What do you do for fun at home?
I play video games, I work out in my free time, just small weightlifting kind of thing, stretching, that kind of thing.
You're not a big weightlifter?
Not a huge weightlifter, no, I'm not a gym fiend.
So those are your general likes, but what are things you dislike, like doing out?
I dislike doing a lot of chores at home, that kind of thing.
Do you split chores evenly between you and your brother?
Yes, I do.
That's good. Do you get an allowance, or are they just stuff you have to do?
It's just stuff I have to do.
Okay. Are you religious?
Somewhat, but kind of 50-50.
What religion do you practice at home?
Hinduism.
Are your parents strong Hindus?
Yes.
But you don't want to really go that deep into the religion. You just believe that there might be.
I just don't know if there's actually gods.
I respect that.
Yeah.
How do you normally get to and from school?
I usually walk. I live literally right down the street from the high school.
How long have you been going to Schenectady High School?
About 3 years.
In your 3 years, is there anything you particularly like or dislike about the building itself?
I like that the building actually has, it's decently spaced, but some hallways get tighter, especially moving from class to class. And that long hallway leading from the gym all the way down to AB wing.
That's about it.
There's, some of the old classrooms in AB wing, B wing, they get really cold during the winter.
So if there are 3 things you could change about the overall look and building of Schenectady High School, what would it be?
I would change the AB wing, not so heavily focus on FA, but change the AB wing, A wing, B wing, D wing. Those need major updates.
You would just update them by how exactly? Would you give them heaters because you said they're cold?
We would give them more heaters, install more heating and cooling systems for when it gets hot in the summer, that kind of thing.
What are your feelings about policies in the high school, such as hall checks, phone jails, escort only, things like that?
I don't really understand the point of things like escort only, because just because a few people aren't, doing the best, doesn't mean everybody should be on escort only for the entire year.
Are you aware that coming this month or later down the year, that we're going to have stickers on our passes for students that don't need escorts, and some students will be escorted, like you said, the ones that should be?
I am aware of it, but I don't know how they would monitor it or how they would manage it. It sounds like it would be really confusing for the school to manage.
What is your policy on hall checks, or what are your thoughts on hall checks and stuff like that?
I don't really think they make much of a difference, because people are still going to be walking around in the hallways. Some people just don't care.
Are there any classes that you take that are cool, like maybe a robotics class or a art class?
Honestly, with my schedule the way it's laid out, not really.
But you said you're graduating early.
Yeah, I'm just doubling up on some senior classes that I need to take that are mandatory.
Like what exactly? Like another science or social studies
Yeah,
class?
so I have double English classes. And so one day I have English 11, the next day I have English 12. And then I have financial literacy classes that seniors usually take. Psychology, that kind of thing, elective credits.
Why did you decide to double up?
I decided to double up because I wanted to graduate early and I didn't want to stay in the school for another year.
Is it because of the people in the school, or more like the, overall build? Is it just that you want to get out early?
Honestly, it was the kind of policies that they were putting in this year specifically that kind of made me change from wanting to stay another year to graduating early.
If these policies were not in place, you feel like you'd be fine or would rather stay here for another year?
Yes.
If there are 3 policies you could change, or maybe add a policy, what would those policies be?
I would change the phone lockbox system. I would change the hall check system. And I would also change the way we run hall checks 5 minutes after lunch. That's the most important thing, because they run hall checks like a few minutes after lunch. Not everybody has enough time to get to class.
Okay, so you would change the phone lock system how?
I would change the phone lockbox system by simply telling students that if your phone is being a distraction during class, you just got to put it in the box like after one warning.
One warning?
Yeah, because if you combat the addiction early on, they'll be less likely to stop looking at their phones.
And what if the student doesn't put their phone in the box? Do you think the suspension is warranted?
It is not warranted. No, I don't think we should be suspending anybody because of that.
How would you go about people not putting their phones in the box then?
After school detention.
After school detention.
Yes.
Are you a part of any like special programs like Votech or Smart Scholars or clubs like robotics or chess?
No, not really. None of those really interest me.
Would you like to start any clubs?
Honestly, not really.
Would you join a sport?
Depends on what sport, and it depends on if I can get better at it.
Name a sport you would like to play in the school that they don't have.
I don't know much about the sports in the school, actually.
Well, on the school's webpage there's a list of sports, but I'm almost positive that we don't have skiing, cricket, fencing.
Yeah, probably fencing, actually. Fencing, I've done it before. It's very fun. I would probably start a club about that if it was possible.
Oh, what style of fencing do you do? Or did you do?
What style of fencing did I do?
Yeah. Foil, épée, or saber?
Honestly, I didn't. It was like over 12 years ago, so I don't remember much of the stylists that I did.
Personally, if I could enable a style of fencing, I would enable saber.
Saber. Oh,
Do you eat school lunch here?
I do not.
Is it because it's terrible?
It's because, yes, it is not the best.
Would you change anything about the school lunch because you don't like it?
I would change the freshness of it, because sometimes when I was a freshman here, the school lunch was never really fresh.
Do you feel like it's fresher now, or you haven't had it since?
I have not had it since last year, so I would not know.
Do you have any favorite or least favorite staff members? They just don't have to be teachers. It could be maybe a hall monitor.
My favorite teacher has to be my 9th grade global history teacher, Mr. Lewandowski. I don't really hate or dislike any other teachers, so.
If you could improve Mr. Lewandowski's teachings in any way, what would it be?
I don't think he really needs to change anything from his teachings, no.
Now, we may not have a least favorite teacher, but do you have any thoughts on Mr. Green as a principal and a person?
Mr. Green as a principal, he seems like a nice guy. He just kind of like has to put up with a lot being the principal of the school, I feel like.
If you think there's one thing or a few things he can improve at his job, what would it be?
I don't think he really needs to improve on anything. I just think he needs to find a better way to handle all the students that, are disrespectful.
How do you think you can improve
How could I improve?
as a student?
Honestly, arriving to school at a better time. I arrive here sometimes like 9 o'clock.
But like you said, you live maybe 5 minutes away.
Yeah, because I'm really lazy, man.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, nothing else. Is there anything else you want to ask?
No.
Okay.
All right, Nick. It was a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Have a good day.